Hi stamping friends, it's Terry Gaines. In this video I am going to share 5 card samples I created with the Gorgeous Leaves bundle, which is in the Stampin' Up! July through December mini catalog. It is on page 47, and I'm also going to use a stamp set that's on page 48 called Welcoming Woods for the sentiments for my cards. These two go very well together, and at the end of the video I'm going to show you a bonus card using both stamp sets. And for the card designs, I have 5 plus the bonus card. I am going to use the samples on page 96 of the 2021-2022 Stampin' Up! Annual Catalog for my inspiration. And to make it easier to duplicate these beautiful samples on page 96, I created a flyer that has a card sketch for each one of those 5 samples. If in this case this was a home decor, I turned that sample card sketch into a card design. So my 5 cards that I'm going to be using with the Gorgeous Leaves bundle is going to use these 5 card sketch flyers. The inspiration was from the annual catalog. And before I get started with the samples, I'm going to share some of the product that I used for the samples. I used 4 ink pad colors: Cinnamon Cider, Soft Suede, Bumblebee, and Crumb Cake. And those are in the annual catalog. The paper was very vanilla, and I used gold and copper foil. Adhesive sheets, I used the new shimmer gold ribbon in the mini catalog, and these beautiful brushed metallic adhesive dots, and you're going to love these. For the adhesive sheets, it's 6 by 12 in size. The foil sheet is 12 by 12. I cut the adhesive sheets down to 4 by 6 and then cut it again so it's 4 by 3, and I adhered it to the back of each of the layers that I used for the gold foil before I cut out the different elements, and I'm going to share that with you in a moment here and get all the logistics out of the way so I can share the cards. For example, the first card I have 4 of the card designs have the foil sheets in the middle layer, so I put that adhesive sheet on the back so I could utilize that foil to cut out the different elements. And I did that for each one of the different layers to maximize that specialty paper. So you will see that's how I generated all of these different samples. Some of the samples have some stamped images. I stamped these, then used the dies to cut those out. This stamp set and die set is absolutely beautiful. The stamp set has 7 images. 3 of them can be cut out with the dies, and the dies have 12. When you bundle them together, you save 10% when you purchase them together. And this is so pretty. Love the background stamps and everything that coordinates with it. I also added the layering circle dies to cut out the different rings. And when I cut these out, I also colored in those leaves with Winka Stella so I could get a little bit of added shimmer to that. Another product I used on almost all the samples was the Time Worn 3D embossing folder, and I also used the Banners Pick-a-Punch. So those were all the materials I used. And to get started, we're going to start with card sketch 96A. So for this card sketch, as I mentioned, it's an inspiration from page 96 of the annual catalog, and this was my final card for this. And as I mentioned, I maximized the inside piece, and I stamped Crumb Cake and Cinnamon Cider with the background stamps and did the 3D folder, and then I just made a collage of leaves and then added the elements. Use the banner punch here. This is where I use the largest layering circle die and the next one for that. So that is card A. Card B, I have gold foil behind that, And very similar, I did some background stamping, texturized the paper afterwards, maximized my foil sheet. So as you can see, I've used some of the copper elements for this card and some of the gold elements for this card. So I mix and match those. And here I've added some of those elements across here, the ribbon. And for these cutouts, I actually layer them on very vanilla cardstock and then hand trimmed around them so I could get a layering. Otherwise these would have been open and you would see through the opening to the next layer. So that is card B. Card C is this card sketch, and for these card sketch flyers you can add as many layers as you want. You can modify different layers, and here I've stamped this 3 3/4 by 3 3/4 with leaves, some layering, sponged some color on the edge, and then added my elements on top. And again, sandwiched, maximized my paper here and did my layering. And I added some extra layering of ribbon, right, to add some more elements to that card. For this layer, there is no copper foil or gold foil behind that layer, but what I did for this piece was, this piece is, there's 3 of these that are 1 1/4 by 3 3/4. So I did this 3 3/4 by 3 1/4, stamped my background, then I cut it into my thirds, and I used the next smaller ring that I created with the copper foil from the previous card and added the different leaves here and little elements. So that is card sketch 96D, and the last one is 96E, and very similar to previous, with a smaller gold copper ring, sentiment with the banner punch elements and clustered in the leaves. And again, maximize your gold foil behind that. Stamp first, then texturize your layer. And I mentioned I have a bonus card. My bonus card is the fact that those 2 stamp sets go so well together. I did not share on all the previous cards. I did not use this stamp that has these 3 leaves, but I added them right here, and just that was so perfect. Let me see if I can grab that stamp set back in, and this is the stamp set. So this leaf stamp goes so well with that. So this is the bonus card. I thought that worked out so well together, and all these sentiments are perfect for many of your different card giving cards, for your greeting cards. So this was to be just a quick video to show you how I created these different cards using very much the same product and using the card sketch flyer 96. If you found me via YouTube, look in the comment section for a direct link, to the blog post to see photos of these cards, the supply list, also to see where you can find the 10 card sketch design flyers that I have for all 10 suites in the annual catalog. I would love to have you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click the red box under the video if you're watching me via YouTube, and then click the bell so you will be notified when I upload my next video. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed this project. Take care and happy creating.